10-year-old Marcus Thompson stared at the assignment displayed on his holographic learning tablet aboard the research station Kepler-7. The Galactic Educational Exchange Program had placed him in an advanced xenohistory class with students from 12 different species, and today's assignment seemed simple enough. Write a comparative analysis of governmental evolution across 3 civilizations. His Vortak teacher, Professor Zilthex, had suggested he choose stable, well-documented societies for easier research. The other students were already working on their reports about the peaceful Etherian Republic, the harmonious Crystalline Collective, and similar, exemplary, civilizations that had enjoyed millennia of uninterrupted prosperity. Marcus, however, had chosen Earth. 3 days later, Professor Zilthex received Marcus's submission and began reading with the casual interest of someone expecting a routine report about another primitive but stable society. What she discovered made her mandibles click in distress. "Professor?" asked Cathera, a young Zephyrian student. "You look disturbed." Zilthex's translator struggled with her emotional state. "This human child, he's documented 247 distinct governmental systems that have existed on his homeworld in the past 5,000 years. The classroom fell silent. Most civilizations maintained the same basic governmental structure for tens of thousands of years. The idea of nearly 250 different attempts at governance in such a short time span was incomprehensible. "But surely they were minor variations," suggested Vexti, an intellectual Kitharan student. Zilthex continued reading, her horror growing. "Monarchies, republics, democracies, dictatorships, theocracies, anarchist communes, city-states, empires, federations." She paused, her voice becoming strained. "He's documented something called the Holy Roman Empire, which was, according to his research, neither holy, nor Roman, nor an empire." The students exchanged confused glances. Their own civilizations had discovered the optimal form of governance eons ago and stuck with it. Why would any species keep experimenting? "There's more," Zilthex whispered. "He's detailed the violent overthrow of governments as a recurring theme. Revolutions, coups, civil wars, reformations. The humans have a saying, those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable." Young Kethera's crystalline structure resonated with anxiety. "Surely this is exaggerated. What primitive species would deliberately destabilize their own societies so frequently?" Marcus's report continued to shock. He had methodically cataloged humanity's governmental experiments: Athenian democracy, Roman republicanism, Chinese dynasties, medieval feudalism, colonial empires, communist states, fascist regimes, modern parliamentary systems. Each entry included detailed analysis of why each system had emerged, flourished, and often collapsed or transformed into something entirely different. But what truly disturbed Professor Zilthex was the section titled, "Governmental Failure Analysis." Marcus had written, with the casual tone of a child discussing his favorite games, about how humans had developed extensive theories about recognizing and preventing governmental corruption, tyranny, and incompetence. "He's included something called constitutional safeguards," she read aloud. "Systems designed specifically to limit governmental power and provide mechanisms for citizens to remove leaders who abuse their authority." The implications hit the classroom like a plasma blast. Every major galactic civilization operated under systems where leadership was permanent and unquestionable. The concept of built-in governmental oversight and citizen-initiated leadership changes was revolutionary and terrifying to established power structures. Within hours, Marcus's innocent school report had been flagged by automated monitoring systems and forwarded to the Galactic Governance Council. By the end of the week, it was being studied by political theorists across 17 systems. The report's most damning section dealt with what Marcus called the paradox of absolute power. He had quoted something called the Federalist Papers, ancient human documents that discussed how to structure government to account for the fact that those who seek power are often least suited to wield it responsibly. But this suggests, stammered Professor Zilthex during an emergency faculty meeting, that their governments are designed with the assumption that leaders will become corrupt. The dean of Xenosocial Studies, an ancient Vortak named S.C.K. Taith, reviewed the report with growing alarm. This child has inadvertently exposed fundamental flaws in our governmental assumptions. If humans can routinely overthrow and rebuild their entire political systems, what does that say about the stability we've assumed was necessary for civilization? Within a month, Marcus Thompson's fourth-grade history report had sparked the greatest political crisis in galactic history. 17 worlds had begun questioning their own governmental structures. 3 systems had requested consultation on implementing human-style constitutional safeguards. And Marcus? He was completely oblivious to the chaos he caused, busy working on his next assignment: economic systems and resource distribution. Professor Zilthex shuddered. She wasn't sure the galaxy was ready for that report.